So I have a few minutes before start heading towards Canyonlands National Park. Wanted to talk about a major fail yesterday on my part. Fail in planning. When you fail on off-road, you hope not to break down, but this is a different kind of fail. In my trips to Arches National Park, coming back, I've had to deal with this issue. It's been kind of sort of like an inconvenience, if anything. I've been blessed that all through this trip, all of my trails on which I've been on, they have always gone, like north to south ish orientation, or if they've gone east to west, it was always in daylight and no, issues per se. Yesterday we had a maintenance day, which I've talked about, and had to stop by Moab, buy a few things. The intent was coming back from Moab to pick up on Lone Canyon off-road trail. Major fail, absolutely major fail. That sun was shining into our eyes entire trip. Now, it's only like 30 minutes to actually drive the darn thing, probably faster if the sun is not in your eyes. But like when I say the sun is in your eyes, I don't mean like driving on the highway and the sun is like coming at this angle that pisses you off. I'm talking about the sun blinding you so that you could barely see where the hood of your truck is. Like you can see nothing at all. Now imagine having to drive that up the hill with the slope about yay, okay, through the snaking, meandering off-road conditions right next to a precipice that ranges anywhere between 10 feet to like 1,000 feet, over boulders and weird terrain. Now, I should mention that Lone Canyon is actually one of the easier trails. It's probably rated like a 0.5 through entire thing up until the so-called pucker pass, which really isn't a pass, in my opinion. Basically, it's a slab of rock that fell. It actually, in person, it's about, I would say, 50% to 150% higher than it appears in all the photographs. It is so roomy you could probably drive a dump truck underneath of it. But in any event, so to get over it, you have to kind of crawl over the little rocks. But honestly, at this point, after having done it a bazillion times in all kinds of conditions, that's the easy part. The difficult part is right before the pucker pass. All the people that are ill-equipped for that trail, namely with two-wheel drive, for example, of which there's a lot of people attempting trails like this, in their like family cars. You often see people with Subarus, people in Nissan Altimas on the trails. It's just so weird. You go like, how is that even possible? They've made it here. So they have completely dug up the portion that precedes the actual slab of rock with dugouts that are like 1.5 to 2 feet deep in extremely loose, deep sand. Now, I had two choices. Either gun it, which probably would have been a horrible decision to make, or put it into low gear and just kind of force my way through it. So that's exactly what I did. I put it into low gear and just went over it. Now, once I got to the actual rocks, all that sand over the rocks has become a thing, if anything. It has made those rocks slippery, so what ended up happening, my truck in 4-low basically turns off traction control, but continues to spin tires and everything. So I was actually doing this for a little bit on the truck, as truck was trying to find any kind of grip to get over the rock. Getting over the rock is the easy part. It's just that there's sand on top of the rock, making the rock slippery. But the main fail, like I said, for entirety of Lone Pass, it's been blind. Like you just couldn't even see anything. You look. It was laughable, but I mean, it was such a huge failure of planning on my part. That's something I did not account for. I'm willing to take the blame for it, but it's something that I have to look forward to in the future on the trips. Especially the time of day when we're coming. Maybe if I did that same trail like an hour and a half earlier, it would have been perfectly fine. But on that very trip, it's just been... it was a joke. Complete joke. I'm upset not even about the fact that the sun was in my eye, but the fact that, as you know, I've been videotaping everything prolifically. So my cameras were blinded, both of them were blinded by the sun. So now I have to do that trail in that direction somehow at one of the days, basically screwing up the timing of my schedule. So I guess the earliest I could do it probably 2 weeks from now or so. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be on that trail, but I'm going to be going down the hill. Tomorrow? No, the day after tomorrow for Memorial Day. And again, there's another little factoid. That trail faces the sun. Because in the morning, the sun is going to be on that side where I'm driving. So it's something I have to kind of think about a little bit. So, yeah. That was the fail on my part. But today should be somewhat of an easy day. We're doing the canyon lens. Doing some overlooks and maybe some very light hiking. My foot has been bothering me a little bit with all the walking we've been doing. So walking less would be a much needed reprieve, that's for sure. Alright guys, I'll catch you later.